trunks, they ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Okay, so obviously the big news, everyone's been talking about it on social media. CM Punk picks up his ball and walks out on the WWE. Now, I was surprised that this actually happened on Monday. I was listening to Wrestling Observer Radio, and they said that at the beginning of Raw is when Punk actually told Vince McMahon that he's going home, and he did exactly that. He picked up his bag and he walked out of where were they? Cleveland. So no one was obviously expecting this to happen, but with all this going on, you really have to sit back and look at this past year for CM Punk. And to me, do you really blame him for leaving? Now let's go back to the Royal Rumble pretty much, where he faced The Rock in the main event. He was in the biggest program. He was the WWE champion for 434 days. He was legit on top of the world about 365 days ago. Since then, you know, he didn't fall off the ladder. You know, he lost the title, sure, and I guess it was just all business. You know, The Rock and Cena was the match that they had in mind for WrestleMania 29. CM Punk had his long title reign, and obviously all good things had to come to an end for him. But it was only just the beginning for him. It was like he had The Undertaker, and in many people's eyes, The Undertaker's match is bigger than the WWE title match at WrestleMania. CM Punk had the opportunity to face The Undertaker, and he did very well. The build-up with Paul Bearer, it was a little bit edgy at first, but hey, that's what everyone wants in their wrestling product. They want an edgy thing, and CM Punk went all out, and he pretty much gave us the most edgiest program that we'd seen in a very long time. And that's what made the match memorable. You wanted to see Undertaker just grab CM Punk around the throat and just annihilate him. You just wanted to see CM Punk get his ass kicked at WrestleMania 29. And he put on a great matchup with The Undertaker. Probably the match of the year. If not, maybe the second best match of the year. Because he had the match of the year either with Brock or The Undertaker. Those two matches for me in 2013 are the two that stick out the most. After The Undertaker, he went home and he came back. He faced Jericho in Chicago. And it seemed to be just a slow decline. You know, sure, the Brock Lesnar match was the highlight of that pay-per-view. Possibly the highlight of the whole year. But after that, CM Punk was kind of just lingering around. He was that top guy, almost like a Rey Mysterio, if you want to really go there. A meaningful program, whether it be with Ryback and Paul Heyman, and then he kind of went off and did the thing with The Shield, and then he did the tag team with Daniel Bryan. It wasn't like CM Punk in 2013. And I think that's where frustration starts to set in, where you've busted your ass pretty much for 6 months, half that year. And, you know, you had the match with The Undertaker in April, you had the match with Brock in August, and then September, October, November, December, January. In those 5 months, all CM Punk really did was feud with The Shield, which was fine. You know, he had great matches with all 3 members of The Shield. He had a tag team with Daniel Bryan, which was a dream tag team for any wrestling fan. But that's not the potential CM Punk could be at. He's supposed to be at that top level in the main event spot. And I think in 2011, when he did the whole thing at Money in the Bank, I thought that was enough to prove that CM Punk is a top player. He could engage the crowd like, at the time, no other babyface could really do. He could make fans care about wrestling again. And I remember that program like it was yesterday, because it was the first time that I went out of my way to see a WWE pay-per-view, because I believed. I was able to suspend my disbelief, like actually believing that CM Punk, he was going to walk out of the company with the WWE title. And it was just so cool to see everyone almost care for a WWE pay-per-view, because it seems like every pay-per-view is kind of, you know, the same old routine with this and that. But this one, there was some mystique to it. There was something magical was in the air that night. But, you know, CM Punk leaving, I heard the main reason was because he was frustrated with Batista coming back and taking his spot as pretty much in the main event. And I think CM Punk, it's no secret that CM Punk's main goal in wrestling before he retires is to be in that last match at WrestleMania. Could have done it at 27 if he would have faced Cena instead of The Miz. 28 with Jericho, I think The Rock and Cena kind of deserve that spot. And then 29, the rematch, and now 30 with Batista coming back and CM Punk kind of really doing nothing. It wasn't going to happen this year. So just frustration with that, where a guy busts his ass all year, and then, you know, big superstar, Big Dave comes in and just takes that spot away from everyone. And that's what CM Punk's shoot promo was all about. You got guys who come in, and all those guys who've been working before him that whole year just kind of take a back seat to the big star, and he has every right to be upset about that. And then you had the whole thing where it's just overall being burnt out. He's been on the road so much. It's no secret that all the WWE superstars have a schedule like I don't think any normal person could really handle. He looks like he's just doesn't care anymore. His matches aren't as good as they used to be. I heard that there was something about his Q&A and at a Comic-Con that now they're really starting to buckle down on his promos. They script everything and they want him to read, I guess, word for word. And then the overall fact that he's feuding with Kane. I guess their plans, I thought the plans was that they would do Kane versus CM Punk at the Chamber and then do Punk and Triple H at WrestleMania. I guess that wasn't the case. CM Punk was not going to be facing Triple H. It was going to be Kane versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, which is a very, very, very big step down from facing the Undertaker the year before. And all due respect to Kane, he's always been there. He's always been that guy who kind of puts over the big names. But CM Punk, I guess, deserves a lot better than that. And I guess he's not going to be in the title picture at Elimination Chamber because the whole Antonio Cesaro being in the Chamber, the original plans, what I've heard, was CM Punk versus Cesaro. Winner gets in the Chamber, and he was supposed to lose. I'm sure there's no animosity between Cesaro and Punk because I'm sure those guys respect the hell out of each other, but in a way, it's, I guess WWE didn't know what they had. They didn't know what to do with him. And now that he's gone home, maybe they have no choice but to work around it. Because if it's an angle, it's an angle. But if it's not, I can really see Punk just sitting at home for the next 20 years, not caring about leaving or not. He's just like Edge. His career's over. His career's over. He saved up enough money. He has no interest going back in the ring. He can retire and not work another day in his life. Every old-time wrestler has always said it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you save. And from what I hear, CM Punk's been saving a whole lot of money. So for me, I don't blame him for leaving at all. If I was in a position in the company where I didn't need to be there and I was getting treated like crap, I would just do exactly what he did. And sure, he could have waited it out until after Mania because I'm sure he would get a nice payday coming out of that event, but that just shows the motivation that he had. He had no care to be there. So if you're not passionate about something, just pick up your ball and get the hell out of there. And that's exactly what CM Punk did. So all the best to him. It kind of sucks as a fan going to WrestleMania not being able to see CM Punk, but you do what you have to do, and Punk did what he had to do. So I'll see you guys in the next video.